and our missions will play a key role in that. And then, of course, as the Chief Justice, you spoke to very strongly. We have two very qualified jurists, and we must make sure that the campaign for the two, we work on that both in a strategic manner, but to make sure that when it comes to the final vote, that we get the votes for the two candidates. I think we've had the conversation around leveraging on the high-level meetings that, for example, His Excellency the President and the Prime Cabinet Secretary would be making, and then, of course, the Chief Justice in terms of the outreach, the judicial outreach, and we will work together as the team in order to ensure that we work in synergy. And of course, we have a good candidate who, as she has said, she's ready, and she's ready to get her hands, into this process, and we have seen that. Yeah. Thank you, Peace. Yes. We now wait for your further guidance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chief Justice. I think it's all clear. Justice Njoki Ndung'u is our candidate as Kenyans, as the government of Kenya, and as the people of Kenya for the position of ICC Judge, 2026 to 2035. So the message here is that there is no other signal. That is the only signal that we are giving to indicate that it's all systems go, and we should not hold back on this issue. In whatever way, we are now all aligned. The executive is aligned, led by the president. The judiciary is aligned on this one, led by the Chief Justice. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is aligned as the ministry that takes the lead in matters of this nature. So we are all aligned, and we should all work toward that. The committee will be finalized, and it will be chaired by the Principal Secretary, Foreign Affairs, and the ministries were represented here, as you have heard. So that is aligned. It will be a joint committee. The judiciary will have its team members, and the foreign ministry will have its team members. And after that, we simply say we have one team, and that is the Kenyan team. So the details of it will be worked out by our experts as we move forward. I just want to reassure you, Madam Chief Justice and Justice Njoki, that we will lend you all our support. Our commitment is there, and we'll work together, consult closely. And I want to appeal to the Kenyans that this is a Kenyan candidate. We should all be united. And I would like to really appeal to the Kenyans, because we have been through certain experiences that when you have one of your own stepping forward for such a significant international assignment, we should all be united. Kenyans, as much as we have the freedom to speak and do what we can do within the confines of the Constitution, let us not shoot ourselves in the foot. Let us, as Kenyans, express our commitment to patriotism by supporting the candidature without any reservations. And this goes to all my friends in terms of the media, in terms of the politicians and so forth. This is not, it's not the time to try and play political games or intrigue in matters of this nature. Let us all be focused in presenting a strong, credible candidate to the international community. So I think I'll end there for now.
And we'll wait for the details and we'll roll out systematically. And we have a very short time. Sometimes it may look like it's long. 8 months is very short. When you're looking at it in the context of not campaigning on the local turf, but campaigning globally, 8 months is a very, very short time. So we need to really pull together and work as a united team. So I think that's all I can say. And to once again thank you, Madam Chief Justice. And I will request that you have the last word on this matter. And then we can adjourn. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you once again, our Prime Cabinet Secretary, Ambassador Jambi, for presenting just a snapshot of who you are. There's a lot that you have not seen, but from this engagement, you have opportunities. The roadmap is very clear. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for giving that roadmap. From here, we will follow all the instructions that you will give us to push our candidates. We assure you of our cooperation in this matter. We are excited as a judiciary really to offer two top jurists. The judges are very excited.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want it. I like to add the action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I add my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
Please stop using ChatGPT and Canva like children's toys.
So what should I do then?
First, stop scrolling. Second, download Cursive. Third, use it for 15 minutes a day. And finally, you'll become a master of AI tools.
So this is how I became the most dangerous person in the room. One habit changed everything. I replaced social media with micro-learning. Now, instead of wasting time on social media, I spend 15 minutes a day actually learning how to use AI for writing, planning, brainstorming, the real work. That's it, just one skill a day. This is the 28-day AI challenge built for beginners over 40. Starts tomorrow. Tap the screen to join us and try the one habit that really makes you unstoppable.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much. Congratulations on these numbers. From these particular numbers, what makes you happiest?
I think it's not where we are, but the journey we have walked.
Yeah.
When I joined Equity 35 years ago, we were making losses.
Yeah.
We were the smallest financial institution in Kenya. We were number 66.
That's true.
So seeing us come this far, we give glory and praise to God.
Yeah.
But we also thank the customers who have worked with us. So this is a consistent journey of determination. This is a journey that has built resilience in us, and it demonstrates what we can do to our African continent. We can transform it. The way we have transformed Equity from the ashes to the top.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of work for our staff, a lot of hard work and determination because they are purpose-driven. They are convicted that they exist to change lives, give dignity, and expand opportunities for wealth creation.
Absolutely.
What you've talked about, almost 100 billion of profit
for tax,
just speaks of the work that has been done in trying to empower people. Is an outcome of great work in giving people loans, in providing saving, and particularly inclusion, and also investing in society through the Equity Group Foundation.
Wow.
So I celebrate the journey, and it feels good that we have been consistent, we have been faithful, we have been honest, and we have kept the commitment of the purpose.
Yeah. It's only because you announced these results very early in the morning, the vendors of the flowers were not open yet. I wanted to bring them physically. But anyway, one of the questions that definitely investors and shareholders will ask is the fact that this is a peak moment. They can see this is a peak moment of equity. And the question then would be, is this really a peak moment, or is it a new dimension of equity moving forward?
This is a step change. It's a new beginning. It's a strategy that has transformed the organization. We pursued a strategy for regional expansion, and we now see half of that performance is coming from the region. Half of the balance sheet is outside Kenya. So it's success. It's a new beginning where those subsidiaries now take over and propels us to the next level of growth. It's a reward for diversification. We said we are no longer just a bank. We're now a financial group. Insurance has taken off. And we expect, we have incurred the cost of setup. Now is propelling them to growth. If you look internally, because of shocks after shocks since 2016, we've been building a defensive capability. We're trying to build the bank to be agile. That process of transforming the bank is also complete. So these two combining regional diversification and transformation, including use of technology, has propelled us to a new level. And that level
is ground zero. It's the beginning. So I can look at the customer straight into the eyes and say, the better days are ahead of us.
Wow, lovely. And really good news to the shareholders. We shall be telling you more even about the dividends. But let's first of all talk about the operating environment, because I feel like these are interesting times. But even that year, you operated under high interest rates, rising oil prices, geopolitical uncertainty, and all that. And I wanted to ask you, what did you get right that allowed you to even still see these particular results?
It is true, the operating environment has been very challenging.
Absolutely.
The first one, interest capping ended in 2023. COVID ended in 2023. The ramification and impact of that has dragged us on. You notice it caused significant growth in NPLs. We have never seen anything like where we've had. Our non-performing loans went all the way to 22 from 5%. And that was really shocking. So we have been able to weather that challenge consistently. And that released the energy of the organization. We're not now playing defensive ball of collecting. We're now playing aggressive ball of lending. So that's a big issue. The second one is that we have had a lot of disruptions, particularly in terms of inflation, exchange rate volatility, and interest rates. The crisis between Russia and Ukraine has always been underestimated, but it induced instability in microeconomic that is what we were operating in. And when we thought we had got used to it, Israel did its own thing. And there with Palestine, now Israel has moved on to the Gulf, the Middle East, and now we have what we never anticipated, that oil prices per barrel will move from 60 shillings to 110. So those are the environment that we have been operating in. But because shocks have become the order of the day, we have said, like the bird, we have known the hunter has learned to shoot without missing. We have to learn to fly without patching. So we have built resilience in this bank over the last 5 years. We have rebuilt the balance sheet to be agile and flexible. And that is the energy that again has been released, that we could be able to move assets in our balance sheet with ease. We also conserved the cash. Out of the 2 trillion of assets, 1 trillion is in cash and near cash. And again, that shows the latent power that the organization have built and the lower risk appetite that it absorbed during that time. What we have now done is to invest in people. We realized this is not village football. This is a football with the sharks. And we had macroeconomic challenges. We had to go to tested and proven skills and competencies. And so we have transformed our bench, not at just the management, at executive and at the board. The conversations that are being held in equity are very different. There are people who have seen it, who have been knocked, and people who have survived, and to tell the story. And their story is now being told in the performance of equity.
I love that, and I looked at the composition, excellent selection of very excellent people in their respective places. I want to finalize this part of the operating environment and segue just directly to the region that you're operating very well. And there are interesting things that I picked out, especially on growth and everything else. But I wanted to ask you, we saw the AGOA renewal, and I noticed that you talked about it, commodity boom, and even investor flows. You've been doing a lot of work as well to help even investors come here to see the opportunities in the region and taking them around as well. So I wanted to ask you this part. What excites you most about our region now? And what are you eyeing as equity? What are you seeing as the biggest opportunities here?
Our purpose, other than changing lives and giving dignity to our people, is to expand opportunities for wealth creation. And we have never had a moment in history that the possibility of realizing wealth creation in this region has never been better. As you have likely said, AGOA is open. African Continental Free Trade Area has now not only been signed, but has been validated. So it has come into place. We have seen infrastructure. We have never been at the level we are, particularly in energy. A lot of solar, a lot of renewable, with countries like Ethiopia surprising the world, having the highest power generation single plant. That energy has really changed. I think we also underestimate the amount of resources that have been put in education and how we have converted the human capital. The focus on health has also helped to increase productivity. Now, when you look at numbers of infrastructure, including internet, including energy, including, and then social investment people in education and health, and then suddenly infrastructure is laid out, and then we are lucky. The world wants to transition from fossil fuel energy production to renewable. And Africa holds 62% of all renewable energy potential. Then we have the biggest opportunity. When you look at electric cars or transition in energy, the critical minerals are significantly present in the region. So this combination of factors give us a unique opportunity to experience a Southeast Asia growth movement, where we have seen Southeast Asia countries, Singapore, Taiwan, and all the others, growing for 30 years consecutively.
Hey YouTube family and GN subs, welcome to my weekly immigration update for March 2026. And we talk about updates on immigration, the laws, rules, regulations, etc. My name is Umberto Gray, for those of you who are new to the channel. I'm an attorney here in sunny Southern California, and I got some interesting news for you this week. We have news on this 75-day pause that's happening. We have news on a new fraud case that is really interesting and important that I'll talk about. And then we have the WISE Act, something with regard to H-1Bs. We'll talk all about it. A lot to get to today, folks. Let's get at it. Alrighty, what is this 75-day pause? I have a video that I've done on it in detail. You might want to check that out for the details. But what the pause is, and again, I have a recent client at the U.S. Consulate, Brazil. A visa was issued, everything was done. They continued the case under 221G. What is that? That's what they call administrative processing. Whenever they have a reason to not issue a visa and delay, it's called administrative processing. It says refusal under 221G, but it's not refused, folks. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the pause. What is this pause? This pause basically is to ensure that individuals that are coming here with immigrant visas are not likely to become a public charge. That's what this is all about, folks. What I've done, I've put a link in the description box below. This is a new DOS, Department of State cable that talks about what consular officers are supposed to do after they adjudicate the petition. Two things you need to know. One is that they will continue to process your case to the end, to the interview, okay? Number two, what you need to know is that if you have dual nationality, holding two different passports, you can use the passport that is not subject to the 75 country ban and have your visa issued. Very important. What I'm doing for my client basically is I am inquiring with the U.S. consulate to issue the visa. Why? Because this is an employment-based visa. My client is coming to work with a very large company here in the U.S. Of course, he's not going to become a public charge. He's going to work and gain wages and pay taxes. So this is not a public charge issue. I'm going to outline that. I'm going to outline this cable that says, you know, basically a consular officer is supposed to look at the public charge issues, not the underlying issues, etc. So let's hope that this helps and I can get my client in the U.S. despite this 75 country pause vetting. All right, let's talk about matter of texperts. This is a very interesting case regarding fraud. The facts of the case, it's an H-1B petition. That's why it's with the AAO, the Administrative Appeals Office, as opposed to the BIA. But they have designated this AAO as a precedent decision. Usually the AAO, non-binding, but this is a precedent decision, so it is binding. It's an H-1B case where you had multiple registrations by an employer. Immigration came back with a notice of intent to deny and indicated that there may be fraud. The employer then withdrew the application, and USCIS made a withdrawal and said without any facts at all that there was fraud and misrepresentation, right? So the AAU said, no, you can't do that on a matter of withdrawal.
you have to make a finding of fraud. You have to have specific articulable facts that are detailed that indicates why there was fraud, even in a withdrawal. This is very important, folks, and key to